Okay, so I have Kenna Joner here, licensed mental health counselor and private practice owner in Washington State. And so I invited her here to speak with us about just maintaining mental and emotional well being throughout school courses, which can get pretty heavy or feel pretty heavy at times. So, Kenna, what do you have for us about that?
Well, what I want to say is that anybody who has gone to school knows the struggle of trying to juggle multiple responsibilities and multiple demands. And so it is a very normal thing to experience stress and at times difficult emotions. What I want to talk a little bit about is that you have a mind and you have a will and you have emotions, and all of these things contribute to your overall well-being, or what we would call good mental health. And so your mind, the way that I want you to think about this is you are in charge of what you let in. All day long things are you're becoming aware of, or thoughts are coming across, and you are in charge of what you decide to dwell on. Once you let something in and you dwell on it, it can become over time a belief. For instance, I'm going to dwell on the thought of I am an incredible student. I am brilliant. That would be just one thought that maybe would come in. Okay, so if that comes in and I dwell on it long enough, then it can become literally a belief. So it goes from a thought to a belief if it sticks around for a while. So if my belief is that I am a brilliant student, that is going to drive my behavior. Okay, let's look at the flip side of that. If I believe that I am not very smart, that I'm not very capable, that I, just really can't get or grasp these concepts, there may be no evidence to suggest that. But if that's a thought that lands and it kind of sticks there, that's going to affect my behavior. Okay, belief drives behavior. So you are in charge of your mind. That is really important. And just like traffic, if you're just sit and watch traffic all day long, cars go by. But let's say you're in the market to purchase a new car and you've decided that you want an SUV. It is amazing. As you watch traffic, you will notice now SUVs more than ever before, because you have something that you are looking for. The same thing with your thought life or your mind. So it's important to be aware of, what am I letting in and what am I feeding? Because whatever you feed grows, and that's more your emotions, but it starts in your thought life. What am I feeding? What am I telling myself? What am I dwelling on? What am I thinking about? And reality is, you feed it. You either stop it or you let it in and you feed it. And then you start looking for reasons why that's true. So if you're struggling in your course, you're going to start looking for reasons on why you can't do this, why it's too hard, why you may not be smart enough, why maybe you really, should just take more breaks, or why you shouldn't show up in class, why you shouldn't participate, why you shouldn't do. Again, whatever you feed grows. So be really clear about that. That kind of brings me to my thought on your will. Okay, guys, school is a long haul. And if you come right out of high school into college, sometimes you feel like, oh my gosh, is this ever going to end? Okay, so then you've got to get really clear. You all chose to be in this class. You all chose to go to school. Some of that might be influenced by your parents, but nonetheless, you're the one who signed up and you're the one who's determining your course, okay? So that's your will. You've got to get really clear on bad days about, what do you want? What is your why? Why are you going to school? Why are you taking this class? What are you hoping to achieve? And sometimes that is a long-term goal, And that's like, well, I want to do, for me, I had to go to graduate school. So not only did I have to go to 4 years of undergrad, then I had to go to graduate. Why? Because in order to do what I wanted to do, I had to jump through all these hoops. Guys, I was in classes that I was like, what the heck? And those are the ones where you quite frankly, you have to get really clear about your why, because it's so much easier to skip out on school, meet up with some friends, and go play pool, which is what I used to do in my freshman year. And my grade in biology showed it, because I wasn't clear about why was I in biology class? What was it going to do for me? What was my why? There's a good book out there by Simon Sinek, Sinek, and he's also on YouTube. So if you don't want to read another book, but you want to just check it out, you can YouTube him. And he's got some good tips on there about what's your why, knowing your why. So lest this feel a little bit like a lecture, which I'm hoping it doesn't, I'm just trying to give you some really concrete things to take away and think about. When you know your why, it's a little bit easier to make the sacrifice or the habit or the discipline. It's a little bit easier to say, no, I'm going to get up. I'm going to do my homework. I'm going to participate in the Zoom call. I'm going to put up my hand or whatever I'm going to do. Or if I'm struggling, I'm going to get some extra help. It propels you forward. So again, that's about your will. You get to choose. The last piece that I kind of want to talk a little bit about is your emotions. Okay. I started with the mind and what you believe, because that is the most important part. Okay. And then I went to the will, so that you actually know that, hey, this is a choice I am making. And then the last thing is, if those two things are in order, if you get clear about what you're thinking, and if you get clear about why you're doing what you're doing, then it's a little bit easier to deal with your emotions. Okay. So you don't have to fight your emotions, but you want to be aware of them. Because if you are not aware of what you are feeling, you can't change it. So what we say is, with a lot of my clients, I work on helping them identify, what am I feeling? And guys, that can be difficult. And you go, I don't know. I just know I don't want to be here. Well, okay, that's kind of a beginning, but you got to unpack it and go, okay, well, what might that be about? I might be feeling discouraged. I might be feeling disappointed. I might be feeling unmotivated. Okay, awesome. When I can name a feeling, then I can do something about it. Okay. But without naming it, I really don't have an opportunity to change it. Okay. So I'm going to become aware of my feeling, and then I'm going to kind of back up and again, get clear about, all right, so if I'm feeling unmotivated, what can I do about it? And some days you might want to just give up. Okay, that's great. But if there's too many of those days in a row, you're going to get a D in biology like I did, because I went to the pool hall a few too many times. Well, it wasn't the pool hall, it was on campus. I went to the pool and I played pool rather than attending and doing my homework. So that choice in freshman year, guys, impacted my entire undergrad life. Who would have thought? Ugh. So your why gets really important, and your thinking gets really important, and your emotions get really important. So don't just sink. Don't just go, this is too hard. I'm depressed. I'm unmotivated. Guys, we all have been there. I'll tell another story. This is embarrassing, but it's true. I used to think skinny people were just skinny. Later in life, I found out that skinny people were people who did the work to be skinny. Or, yes, we all can say, oh, they have a quicker metabolism than we do, yada, yada. Okay, yeah, all right, that's a fact. But they don't eat the chocolate. They exercise regularly. They, eat their salads and their vegetables, and they make one choice after the next. And that's what you need to do. You have to choose to go to bed at a healthy time so that you can actually get up and participate. You have to say no to some things so that you can say yes to this most important thing, which is education or class. You can't do it all. That's a lie. All right. So I'm going to say no to some things so I can say yes to what I really want to do. So hopefully those are just some points to get you thinking, to maybe make you look at your own circumstance, maybe look, okay, where can I do some work? Is it in what I'm thinking? Is it in, getting clear about why am I even taking these classes? Or is it getting clear about, hey, what am I feeling and what are some of the things I can do to help me feel better? Sleep, not 25 hours, but sleep, a consistent sleep schedule. I might sound like your mother at this point, but 8 hours is really important to your overall mental health. Not eating junk food, again, impacts your overall. You might not have heard this, but your gut health impacts your mental health. So that's why I even bring this up, guys. So again, hopefully there's something you can take out of here and go, okay, I can work on this if you're struggling. There you go.
Oh, that was amazing. So say a student listens to this and realizes, I don't know my why. I don't know, what am I doing? What for students who are just stuck on one of those things or all of those things, what would their next step be to get unstuck?
Well, if you have a healthy friend to talk with, or if you have a parent who is safe and supportive, I would talk with them. I would encourage you, you may not be able to tackle it all at once. So that's why I said, hey, take one step. Mm-hmm. If you don't know ultimately, what do I want to do when I graduate in 4 years, you're in good company. Many of us didn't know that when we began, but there are really 2 years worth of classes you have to take no matter what you really want to do. And unfortunate, I think that's unfortunate because that can be discouraging to go, I don't even care about this class. Well, you have no idea what you might end up doing, and you have no idea how this particular class may help you in your future. And so if you don't know your why, just go, okay, 2 years, I have to get through this to get to where I might want to know what I want to do. So just go, all right, it's more of the hoops, and we all had to do it.
Yep. And I think that's so important to remember is just, you're not alone. Exactly. Welcome to college. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Kenna. I appreciate you so much. If I have students that reach out to me with specific questions, can I kind of shoot them your way and just get some feedback?
Go ahead and send them to Lindsay, and she can filter it. And when I have time, because I am literally full, but when I have time, I will do what I can to respond. So,
okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.